Hi everybody, this is Ellen and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. So I'm jumping on today to do a quick tag, and it is a bit shorter than some of the tags that I've seen. So it's just 10 prompts, and it was started by Dragonfly Dilly. She's quite a new channel like me, so I thought it'd be fun to jump on and do her tag. So I'll put the prompts in the description, but basically the idea is the tag's called What Made Me Do It, and it's what the reasons were that you bought particular decks. So you'll see I've got the Fyodor Pavlov out. This is for tag number 1. So tag number 1 is TarotTube made me do it. So yeah, the Fyodor Pavlov. So it's not that I watched loads of unboxings of this deck on TarotTube or anything like that. I actually haven't watched many unboxings. But I started my tarot journey a long time ago with the Mother piece, and I only had that one deck for years. I've mentioned it before. But that's quite an atypical deck, and there's plenty of diversity in that deck, although it's suffered from accusations of cultural appropriation. But since I started expanding my tarot practice and buying some more decks basically in the last couple of years and watching TarotTube, I've become more aware of the lack of diversity and representation in a lot of decks. So I was following Charlie Claire Burgess on Instagram while they were producing the Gay Marseille. And then on TarotTube, I got into other content producers and decks which were reflecting queer and LGBT diversity and focusing on the global majority and so on. And I started seeing all these amazing diverse decks. And I wanted to get one that was specifically about that, or that, that was the focus. I'm not really sure why I chose the Fyodor Pavlov out of, there's obviously quite a lot of decks available now that are specifically focused or specifically kind of aware of representation and diversity in their representations. But I went for Fyodor. It's a redesigned RWS. And I'm not a huge fan of RWS artwork, and no offence at all to people who love Pamela Coleman Smith's designs. But I was looking for something a bit different for an RWS. I've been getting really into the Marseille, but I don't want to, ignore the RWS system, because, the Mother piece was based on that as well, and it's a system, it's a useful system. So yeah, I was looking for something a little bit different in terms of the artwork, but which still quite closely followed, a lot of the symbolism, but then was more diverse representation and so on. So I went for this one, and I'm reading the guidebook, so I haven't actually shuffled it yet. It's still in order, and I'm planning to kind of work with it in the next month or something. So yeah, it's not really similar to art styles that I'm usually drawn to. The designs remind me a bit of Charles Rennie Mackintosh's work, who I do love. He's a Scottish sort of Art Nouveau designer. And then, yeah, I'm not really into later Art Nouveau styles so much, and it does remind me of that. But it's also the images, some of them are absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? This one, I love the High Priestess. There are a couple, I think particularly the Devil, I don't like kind of explicit representations of, explicit practices in my tarot deck so much. But the Devil card's always a tough one. So so I went for this one, and I do like how it represents people of different colours, ethnicities and so on, also different expressions of non-binary gender, different body shapes as well, different ages. So it's in terms of its representation of people, it's very diverse, and some of the images are really stunning, I actually watched quite a scathing review of the book on TarotTube, but I'm enjoying the book. I'm reading it at the moment, and you know, I think a lot of the descriptions of the cards are really nice and insightful in terms of the reasoning behind how the deck was redesigned by Fyodor Pavlov. So yeah, this is my TarotTube made me do it in a good way, and I love that male temperance. Really nice. Okay, on to prompt number 2. So prompt number 2 is my heart made me do it. Put that one away. So my heart made me do it. For this one, I recently received an Ilmenagelo delivery, and I got 2 decks from them. I got this one and another one, and this one really was the reason I placed the order. I really wanted an Ilmenagelo deck, and they didn't have many decks that I sort of specifically wanted. I think the Marseille that they had wasn't one that I was looking to pick up. But this one looked absolutely beautiful, and it's a pip deck. It's not Marseille, but it obviously follows the Marseille system. And this was designed by Maria D'Onofrio. My bad. Anna Maria D'Onofrio. And it means it's La Courte de Tarot. It's Tarot Court. And it's gorgeous. And when I say my heart made me do it, I love everything about this. It's the texture of the cards, the colour of the images, the colours. It's there's a kind of gold, and I think in the originals there was gold foiling. There isn't on this, but you can kind of see the gold in the images, and they're just absolutely beautiful, and I'm really enjoying reading with it as well. And I love the box. It's this sort of tactile experience having a Ilmenagelo deck. The seal on the box and everything, and just the weight of the cards and the sound they make when you shuffle them. So I'm extremely happy with this, and that was definitely very much my heart made me get this deck. So that is the La Courte de Tarocchi from Ilmenagelo. Okay, prompt number 3. My head made me do it. So this one is, I'm going to show you the Solar Busca. It's the mini Solar Busca. And my head made me do this because I was looking for a mini deck, and I went into, there's one kind of big shop near me that has quite a lot of decks for sale, and I was looking at all the different minis, and there was a mini Marseille, and there were a few different mini RWSs. But I saw this one and I was like, well, I want to learn about tarot history. And I'd been reading a little bit about the Solar Busca and the influence of the Solar Busca on the designs that Pamela Colman-Smith used for the RWS. So I wanted to study it. So my initial reason for getting a mini was to have a deck that I could, carry around easily. But instead it's turned into this study deck. So the Solar Busca, some of you will probably know about it. It's like a historical deck. It doesn't follow, it wasn't designed for divination as far as anyone knows, and it doesn't relate to either the Marseille or the RWS system, but there are some images that kind of occur later in the RWS, and some that can be related to the images that you find in the Marseille majors and so on. So it has illustrated pips. All the cards are illustrated. I mean, the pictures are absolutely amazing, but you know, it's a whole different system, and it was probably just intended as a game, and so that makes it kind of hard to read as a pocket deck. And so what I've done is I went through, I think it was Masha had done an introduction to this deck, and I went through and I added the meanings from Giordano Berti's work. So just sort of short descriptions of the meanings. And then it also came with this little book, which interestingly is designed by Andrea Vitali and Linnea Weatherstone. And she did, I think she did The Forest of Enchantment. I mean, I think she's done quite a lot of decks. So it's quite interesting because when I read the descriptions in this little book, they are quite close to kind of typical meanings. But then the descriptions in this book are very different. So maybe I'll do like a little video about that sometime in terms of the difference. Just, I mean, in terms of the Fool. Where is the Fool? Yeah, Il Mato. It's in order, I think. So the Giordano Berti description says, a lone musician, a strange meeting can generate sublime ideas, dreams, extravagance, revelation, discovery, invention. And the little booklet it came with says, the Fool, Matter, it doesn't matter if you're misunderstood as long as you're true to yourself. There's a holy innocence within each of us. Strive to keep it pure. So obviously, I mean, it's still not RWS exactly, is it? So yeah, quite interesting, and I think worth digging into a bit more. But definitely my head made this choice, and now I'm going to have to get another mini deck to carry around with me while I do a kind of deep dive on this one in terms of the imagery and representation. So that is my head made me do it. All right. The title made me do it. So I don't have this deck yet. It's on order. But I'll put an image of it here on the screen. It's actually been delivered. I'm not saying it's on order. It's been delivered. I ordered it from Oneness Emporium, and it was delivered to my mum's house in the UK. So I'm going to pick it up when I go over in July. It's the Folkloric Forest, and just that title. I'm all about forest decks. I love them. I'm all about the forest in general. And folkloric, I love folklore. I love, I mean, the imagery. This could have come under a few of the titles. The artwork as well. It looks absolutely fantastic. So I am really looking forward to seeing that. I've been trying to avoid looking at too many walkthroughs so that I can be surprised when I get it. So yeah. The title made me get that one. Title alone sold me on it. All right, the artwork made me do it. So that is this one. And this is Wisdom of Trees. And I'm going to completely blank on the lady's name who did this one. But Merila thingy, what's her surname? Allwood? Did the artwork, and I love her work already from Forest of Enchantment, and the images are absolutely gorgeous. So I went for this primarily because of the artwork. The book that it comes with has really loads of information in it, but the cards themselves don't have any keywords on, only the name of the tree, and I found that a bit difficult. So I've actually done a video about this, how I don't know if I'm going to post it. I might post it. A video about how I added keywords to the deck and how that affects my ability to read with it. And it's worked really well. So yeah, the artwork absolutely gorgeous, and I think now by adding the keywords, it's also become a really nice reader for me. Like I say, the guidebooks got loads of really good information in it, but I wanted something that I could take a card and intuitively read with it, and I couldn't do that with just the names of the trees. So that is the artwork made me do it. Another one that I just wanted to mention as well is one that I've got on order. Well, I've just kickstarted it. I've just joined in the Kickstarter for the Metanoia, which just, it looks like a really gorgeous interpretation of the Marseille, and they're kickstarting the second edition of that at the moment. So anyone who didn't get it in the first edition, I know they've only got the minis online at the moment, but the Kickstarter campaign has the full-size deck, and you can just choose that. They're doing other things like journals and stuff, and there's a playing card pack as well, all as part of the campaign, but you can also just choose the Metanoia deck, which is what I've done. So that is quite exciting as well, and that was another one where the artwork made me do it. I don't often do Kickstarters, but I couldn't resist. Okay, the hype made me do it. So I did think about putting the folkloric forest in there, but to be honest, I think even if it hadn't been shared on Kickstarter, on YouTube, on TarotTube, I would still have fallen in love with that one. The one that maybe was a little, I don't know if it was hyped exactly, because it's not like everybody's got it. It's not like, you know, what's the one that everybody's got? I've gone blank. I'll put it on the screen. But the Mythologica Fennica, I actually don't know why I got it. I mean, I really like sort of Northern European mythology, and I saw this on a few channels and people really rated it. They had it in like Deck of the Year for 2024, is that when it came out? I think so. A lot of people kind of talked about it being absolutely amazing. So, I mean, I think that's why I got it. I haven't worked with it yet, and I mentioned this before, I think it's because it feels quite wintry and we're going into summer. So, yeah, I haven't worked with it yet. But I think there was a little bit of hype around it, which made me do it. I'm just reading the guidebook, and it is really, really cool. So it's not a purchase that I regret. I think it's going to work really, really nicely in the winter. So that is a little bit of hype made me do it. Okay, the next tag, I can't remember what number we're on. My dark side made me do it. And this is another one I haven't actually, to be honest, I haven't actually ordered this yet, and I'm so close to pushing the button. The Somlipis, I haven't got really any dark decks. I don't really go for them. But the Somlipis looks really interesting. I've seen a couple of walkthroughs. So it's a card deck, and I'll put the image on the screen again and the names of the authors. It's a father and daughter team who put this together, and it's like a different system again. It's a card system, cartomancy rather than tarot. But the images are quite dark, but I'm just really, really drawn to it. So I think if I'm gonna have one dark deck, I think it's probably gonna be that one that I'm gonna order. I'm just waiting for a little bit of time to go by and have a little bit more money before I place another Amazon order. Okay, my inner child made me do it, and that is, I've actually got kind of two options for this. Fae Messages, Forest Fae, sorry. So yeah, this is a really cute little deck from, what are they called, Rockpool, same as the Mythologica Fennica. And this is, I wasn't really enjoying it. And then I watched a couple of tags, and a couple of people chose this for various prompts. And I got it out again, and I'm actually really enjoying playing with it now. I've edged it in green, and the little cards are really cute. I mean, they're not very deep, but you know, if you just want a quick little thing to think about for the day, it's really sweet. And it's inner child because it really reminds me of some worlds that I loved when I was growing up. You know, fairies and trolls, forest fairies. Yeah, Dilly mentioned the Dark Crystal, which I was also a huge fan of. The Magic Faraway Tree, Never Ending Story, all of those ones, you know. So what was that other one with the guys who lived underground? It was a Jim Henson, I think. Gone blank. I'll put it on the screen. Yeah, so anyway, I always wanted to draw like this. The pictures are lovely. The Gatekeeper. And they kind of look a bit like the dolls that I'm making with little animal heads, and very, very cute. So yeah, this is a the Troll Fae. Follow the secret signs, as treasures can be found where you least expect them. Cute. Synchronicity. Yeah, so that is my inner child one. I did have one other one, which was actually an app. So I have a couple of tarot apps, and I got the fairy tale one, Prince of Pentacles, and this was also a bit of an inner child because I love fairy stories, and yeah, so you can just today's card. There's like a little short one if you just want a short reading, but then you've got full text from the book, and that has the whole fairy tale in it. So yeah, the artwork's lovely, and then also the story. If you've got a few minutes in the morning, nice thing to read. In a land far, far away, there was a Persian king. Yeah, so that's another inner child. Okay. The next prompt, Impulse made me do it. And that was this one. I've already done a walkthrough of this, like a deep dive. But when I was ordering the other Il Meneghello deck, I saw this one on the site, and I just went and bought it. And it's really interesting. I think I said in the walkthrough, I don't think I'm probably going to use it as a reading deck, because some of the images are a little bit kind of, they're not my favourite images, but some of them are absolutely beautiful as well. So yeah, it was an impulse, and I think I'm glad that I had that impulse, and it's been a real learning experience to dive into this deck. So yeah, it's not a deck I regret as an impulse buy, but also, you know, it was kind of unexpected in terms of the cards and the artwork and so on. I think, you know, I wanted to maybe focus my channel on art, and because that's my background, like my first degree was an art degree. So yeah, I wanted to kind of focus on art in tarot as well as my own kind of art practice in tarot with my channel. So I think that's why I went for it. Yeah, and yeah, like I say, I don't regret it at all. It's a really interesting deck. So yeah, the last tag is another reason made me do it, and for this I'm going to say Ina made me do it. Sorry, Ina. She's another channel that I'm following. What's she called? Taproot Tarot. And we were having a chat after the deep dive into the 22 Pitori. We were talking about decks with cubism in them, and how some Marseille decks are seen almost as precursors to cubism. And I've been a big fan of cubist art since my my degree days many years ago. So Ina told me about a deck by Yves Reno, and I had a bit of a Google, and it turned out it was actually on Amazon. So I have ordered it, and it's on its way. So that's my tag. Ina made me do it, but in a good way, because yeah, it was really interesting. She pointed out this deck, and it's Marseille, which has a number of images in it that look very cubist, very kind of like Picasso, Gris, and all of those guys, their art style. The world card, she pointed out the world card and the face of the person in the world card and the face of the bull in the world card are really kind of wonky and very cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that one. It's on its way. Okay, so that's it from this tag, and thank you very much. Oh, it's under half an hour. Yeah, I enjoyed as well the fact that this was only 10 prompts. I don't have so many decks to share, so yeah, that's it's been fun, and thanks to Dragonfly Dilly. I might tag a couple of people. I don't know loads of people in the community, but I might tag a couple of people to see if they'd like to do it. Of course, no obligations at all. All right, guys, and have a lovely weekend.